Hey, everybody, listen to the Combo Wombo podcast.
Ooh, I'm keeping that in. I'm keeping that in.
All
no
right.
breaks, no edits.
With me as always, the Mr. Gimpy. What's happening, man?
You're always messing with me, man. Saying, "Oh, you weren't ready." Oh, you
Number one podcast for gods, dude. Fishes are out here, dude, living it.
It's all right, man. It's all right. What's up, bro?
Just thinking about fish, bro. You know how it is. Took so long, bro.
I do know how it is. I had salmon for dinner 2 nights in a row, dude. I know exactly how it is. Yeah. Not last night, I made some tacos, man. So you know how it is.
That fish taco in you,
nah,
dude.
Man. It was birria, but got that consomme in there, man. Dip my shit, delicious.
Nice, dude.
Hell yeah. But
I've mostly been doing like chicken, dude.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Just no
chicken
specific
nuggets,
meal, just everything chicken.
Fried
okay.
chicken, yeah, just chicken on chicken.
Okay.
Fried chicken in the air fryer, living.
I got you. Nah, man, nothing wrong with
that. Good, clean living, man.
I don't know if bread chicken is good, clean living, but yeah, you're good.
Yeah, dude.
Dude. So let me start us off here. I messaged you last night that I finally got my camera working on mobile.
All right.
For my pig game. Did you see that message? Nah.
Yeah. Camera movement. No, dude. You're using your use of words put together in that sentence. Like, I was like, it took me a moment. I was like, your camera's working on your phone. Like, what? I feel like that's a given, dude. You're like, your camera movement in your game for your mobile game. All right. I got you. Yes, I did see that.
Okay, so working. Last week when I
can confirm
when I put that together, I was calling the touch input within, so GameMaker has create event, step event, things like that. So if you can define variables in both, but it seems to work better if you define them in the create, I believe, and instead of the step, because when it's a step, it's a local variable and it's a whole thing. So when I wrote it initially, I tried to do it as a script that initializes when the game loads, and I had just variables defined everywhere, and it just wasn't concise. So when I tried to load into it, it would crash the entire thing. And then looking at the debug logs, it was the touch input was causing controllers to be looked for, so it's looking for 12 controllers, and then that obviously doesn't exist.
And so then it would back just all references, and
it was just blowing up and dying. I'm like, okay,
exceptions.
All right, what am I doing? So I went back to the drawing board. I had a conversation with our buddy Sir Solace, and we were talking, and I was like, some of the best times to go back into it with fresh eyes. And talking to him, I kind of had an epiphany. I was like, oh, you know what? When I was working on it, I worked on it without any plan, right? I was just clicking away.
Like, all right, this should work.
I was like, this should work. And then I'm looking at it. The day of, I'm looking at my code, reorganizing it, and then I was like, okay, no, this should work. What am I doing wrong? And rewriting it, properly defining my variables in the create event, that worked. So the only thing I'll do now is at some point, because this is still prototype for me, I'll adjust the speed because I have everything super fast because I wanted to make sure it worked, but yeah, man, that was a big accomplishment for myself there. So I'm happy that that's one thing in a mobile game. I feel is every single one that is a casual game where you have a level layout lets you move across the entire field, just your camera. So I feel that's a big point of having a mobile game, is that ability. And also the pinch to zoom, I think, is a big point because it's expected. Now you liking mobile games, am I right on that, or did I just waste my time?
Yeah, it should be like a intuitive design.
Yeah,
right. So it's like one of those things you don't notice unless it's not there. And it's one of those things everyone kind of takes for granted. You're like, oh yeah, you should just be able to zoom in and click on this, and that should just work. And then it doesn't. And you're like, why doesn't this? Why they should have put that in? I don't know. It's like a weird thing about it's not quite scope creep, but it's like features. I don't know. It's like whenever you're building a game in any genre.
Yeah, there's expected, right? It's status quo. Yeah.
It's been my problem with VR. My biggest gripe with it is that I feel like people are putting too much stuff in their VR games because like you expect to be able to interact with everything like you would in real life, and it's like extremely emergent braking when like you're like, oh, there's a can, let me pick that up, and you're like, I can't do it, but I can pick up like arbitrary other things that are for the gameplay.
So you're saying don't put it in VR unless you can interact with it?
Yeah.
Okay.
For the most part, like depending on like the type of game, et cetera. But like most of the stuff, yes, you should be able to interact with it as you would with real life stuff. It should just seamlessly work. So that's what I'm saying. Like it's better to have like way less stuff that has like that higher level of interactivity.
Yeah.
And just because like there's no genre conventions for VR. I mean, they're like slowly coming, but if you give it to like somebody new and they're like, how come I can't do this? They get like angry, visibly upset. Like if they can't do like an expected like behavior.
You should watch or do the developer commentary for Alex if you haven't, or just load it up and check it, because there's a good point in that where one of the developers in a room, he's like, yeah, if we made this on flat screen, we wouldn't have modeled the backside or textured like this part. Like it would have just been a waste. But in VR, players can literally look behind the curtain. So like the game took so long to make because we wanted to like plan for every possible player interaction or everything that they would try and touch or do. So you're right. That is intuitive design for me in VR. I know I'm playing a game as well, so it doesn't take me out of the game not being able to interact with something. But I will say when I can and it's seamless, it sticks with that particular game sticks with me more. So you can accomplish more, or like that feeling of like I told you when I first tried VR, and you're playing it enough, like your memory of VR is you lived it. It's the craziest thing.
It gets downloaded. It's like a weird dream you woke up from for a moment where you're like, oh, I kind of vaguely remember the sense of doing those
for
things.
Whatever reason, you do not remember yourself like with the headset on. You do not remember playing with like the controllers. You remember being in it, and that is one of the things that's purely a VR thing that I think everyone should experience at least once. It is insane. But I that's a good point. But
have you been playing like more mobile games and stuff to like see what the genre conventions are for this type of stuff?
I have. I've had a few on my phone or games that I know that have mobile versions as well, just to compare and contrast, So I've been playing a little more of those, and it's been more of sitting on the toilet kind of a play, just like
that's what they're designed for.
Research. Yeah, for sure. So there's definitely some conventions there, and like big chunky buttons as well in mobile games. So so you can easily select things. So that does adjust in my head the UI design that I was going for. So I'll address that in the prototype. The next thing I'm doing now is defining my animal behaviors. I have my antagonists, the foxes. I have my pigs. I separated my grass tiles and my mud tiles to different layers. So the pigs doing their pathfinding, I can just call a layer itself, since mud will be in its own section, right? So I don't have to define it with like an invisible like boundary or an X and Y. I can just go to the mud tiles. So so that I planned ahead for that, which is nice. So I'll let you know about any of the struggles I have getting there. But for me, not doing a mobile, like any mobile game that I've made before, it's always been like single screen. You never had to do any of that. It was just always boom there. It was always like little puzzle games that I've made or helped make or whatever. So this is a big milestone for me. So I'm excited for it.
Making big things, dude. Doing big stuff.
Yeah, man. Appreciate that. So how about yourself, man? You've been
I dove back into Unity, I was playing around with that a little bit. I showed you the weird speaking of one-screen games, I showed you my one-screen game where you're like moving around as a ninja, grabbing mice, like based on like Tiger Electronics, your Game and Watch style gameplay.
Yes.
I made that in like a micro quad.
Yeah.
Rust, I got you. Yeah. And so like I don't know, I built it out there, and then I was like, man, this is kind of cool. I like this idea. I want to do something maybe a little bit more with that. So I ported that over to Unity, something I'm more familiar with, and like I have more tools that I can build. So I build like a beat map editor, so like things will spawn to the beat. And I don't know, it's kind of like your DDR and stuff, where it's like it reads out like a sound file and like creates like patterns based on that. And you can do like doubles or jumps or like all the lingo, there's ladders, and there's all kinds of stuff, man. These rhythm game players are on in their own world, dude.
Yeah. Did you use my suggestion of doing a metronome and doing it on the seconds for your beats?
Oh, you're saying like, yeah, I got that kind of like built in where like it goes to like quarter or 16th or like whatever. I got to know like in the song, and I'm really bad at that actually. Like figuring out like the BPMs of a song.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, it should be easier.
Yeah, I mean, if you need help with it, if I'm on, just message me. I can help you with that too.
What notes are these? Is this like a quarter or 16th or an eighth?
Yeah, that's one of those like hidden talents. My dad used to manage a band actually, like growing up. Yeah. So like the band would practice there, and the drummer would always drum too fast. So my dad like bought a metronome, put it in front of him. He's like, "Look at this thing," So
that's the secret to music, man. It's just if you can play on a metronome on beat and in key of whatever key you're playing, like, you sound pretty good.
Yeah,
it's like that's the hack, dude. Like if you have those fundamentals, dude, like you can just jam out, dude. I used to just throw on like backing tracks for like the guitar, and I'd be like, all right, let's do like a key of D and like this type of song, and then I would just like look at like a scale in D and just have the metronome and just jam out for hours, dude.
Yeah. It's like fun. I'm not some sort of music theory person, but there's some certain parts of it where I can lock in, you know. So
dude, it's just vibing, bro. It's great. So yeah, I don't know. I made like the beat mapper, so that turns into a JSON file, and I got it to load on like a grid, and then I got things to spawn to the beat patterns that you create in that, and it doesn't spawn on the grid yet. So this is about as far as I got, like in the course of a week.
Yeah, no, that's huge. And man, I'm already you definitely adjusted like your scope completely, because you honestly, like, you could have probably called it a day when you were right where you were, because the game loaded, you had full gameplay. It's fun, you know. But you're giving it a little extra juice, man, and I gotta commend you for that, because that's what separates your project from just like a throwaway to, you know, something that people want to come back to. So
so you can show it to other people, and they're not like, oh, what is this? Some weird.
Now, I'm curious, your thing with the beat map editor, are you allowing users to load in their own songs, or is this for you to easily add songs to generate?
I think it's just for me for now.
Okay.
I don't know. Like I said, like one of the things I enjoy most in game dev is like making tools or tooling and level design. So even like after I finished like that beat mapper, I was like kind of drained out like my battery for the whole project, where I was just like, man, well, I got that dope ass beat manager. I was like, it's pretty good. I don't know. That's like the game to me is like, you know, like I created this whole tool system to make like a rhythm game in Unity now that I have, you know.
Oh man, that's awesome, because just talking to you and you're iterating on it, like, I don't remember what the catalyst was for you to make it a rhythm game. I know I commented on the song you made and said it was dope
threw
as
like
hell.
some hard shade. You're like, the song's too good for this game it's in, dude. It's like, it's the most backhanded compliment I've ever gotten. I remember that, dude.
Oh man, that song was great. It's still stuck in my head.
Dude.
So
it's a great song. Yeah, so then I did spend time doing that, making like other songs, or trying to, and they're not all as good as that. Like some of them are, you know, not great.
Well, but, you know, look at Tetris, right? Like,
2
songs are bangers. One song's the biggest banger of them all, but having a variety is great. Dude. You know, having a variety is great. You know, like I think like having variety is great, but if you have nothing but mediocre songs, you know, like, people don't remember your game as much. Like, if we look at Tetris and Columns, right, from a pure gameplay standpoint, I think Columns is super fun, but Columns soundtrack is not good.
It's just lacking, man.
You know, keep in mind, I like Columns, but I turned their music all the way down as a kid. I would always play that game at my uncle's place, and it was like, hey, I want to play Tetris. We don't have Tetris, so it's like, okay,
we got columns.
What do we got? Eggman's Mean Bean Machine or Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine or columns, right? So I took a shine to columns, and just the Egyptian flavored soundtrack just wasn't it, at least for me. There may be some columns fans who love the soundtrack, and all three of you let me know. But my experience playing columns was turning the music down all the way, and my uncle just playing Snoop Dogg's Doggy Style in the background. So that's how I have to play columns, man. So
Snoop's, the theme song.
But I did not mean that as a backhanded compliment at all. I just it's because the song, I feel, raised your scope. Because I figured it was just like a quick thing, and that song, it seemed like you put so much effort into it. And I don't know if it was one you had or what, but
no, it's kind of like we talked about before with like even like level design, where like somebody was like, yeah, I just design levels in my spare time, and like this is one I just had sitting around. And then somebody was like, I wish I had levels like that sitting around. I was like, oh, I need to work on levels. It's like that with my music, where like I was going through like my director, I was like, oh, this is a banger, I'll just throw this in here. And I was like looking at other older songs. I had like 2 or 3 that are all their like pretty good bangers. I was like, all right, I could just use these as well. But there's like 6 stages, so that's when I was like, all right, I need like at least 3 more songs, and that's when I started like pumping out slop, where I was like, all right, I need something here to like fill in these gaps. They got some stuff that's okay, and but like I don't know, I think you need maybe like a good ebb and flow to music as well. Like you said, like if they're all like really good, like it almost becomes like that's the bare minimum bar, and like nothing stands out. Whereas if you have like ones that are bad, you're like, oh, this one's pretty bad, and then like you get a really good song,
good one's better.
By comparison, just so you have something to compare and contrast to, maybe. So now maybe there's something like psychological to that, where even like gameplay wise, where there should be like peaks and valleys for people like get into like a good flow state in a game. But
sure,
so I had that just laying around, and just threw that in there, and I was like, maybe I could like just add a little bit to this, a little zhuzh to it. And so,
I gotta commend you, man. The zhuzh you're adding is warranted. The game looks great. It sounds great. So, and I know it's a simple project, but it's definitely ballooned to more than what you initially planned for, right?
Yeah,
but
dude, now I'm invested in it, dude. I spent some money on Fiverr. I hired that dude from the Philippines to like make my pixel art.
Yeah,
that came out great.
Dude,
excited about that. Yeah, he was charging like $10. I feel bad, like I was ripping him off, so I sent him like 10 on a tip, and then I ordered like just some simple sprites. I was like, he was like 25 for this too, man. So I feel like a little bit better. So I gave him like almost like like $50 almost, all in all, for like 3 sprites basically, and like only one that is animated, which is, I feel good for like custom art specifically for your game. You can get like packs and stuff there, like $10-15, but like then your game's gonna look like every other game out there.
Yeah, but for a true custom, I gotta give you your props, man, because I know you've done work on Fiverr as well. But
no, I've done like just work for hire, artists for hire.
Right. I'm sorry. Yeah. That's what I meant. I said Fiverr, so I was there. But you've opened that avenue up for me, especially when I was getting back into game dev, because a lot of the times it's just like do everything myself, right? Or get like a friend to do everything. But you definitely, and to everyone here, like it doesn't have to be a solo effort of you making everything. You're not good at programming, you're not good at art, you're not good at music. There are people who are good with that, who are selling their services. So that is an option. And whenever I get to a point where I'm like, I try and do everything myself, right? But talking to you about game dev definitely just opened up my eyes to going, this is an option, because when you're in the trenches on your own, man, you forget. It's like I can't get this animation to look right. I can't get this song to sound right. I can't
get Foley
exactly. Exactly.
Go out with the microphone and do like sound effects and shit.
Like one thing that backgrounds, like parallax scrolling backgrounds that look decent, would take me forever to make, but someone, that's their talent, so I have no problem.
That's what they're doing, man. They're just pumping them out, and you're like, all right. I don't know, I've heard something like that too, where it's like if you hire somebody where like that's what they're good at, it's going to be way better than like what you're bad at. Like if they're like a B, like, let's say like a C, like an average, like they're just like a C plus at something like a slightly better than average, it's going to be better than what you can do because like that's their primary focus.
Yeah.
You know, if that makes sense, where it's like, are you going to do it? And like for you, it's like a C level effort, but like on par, it's like a D compared to like what they're doing. And maybe you could do something better, but then it's taking away time from other things. You only have so much time and like so many buckets of stuff to fill up.
Yeah.
No, I've always been like, and even like transitioning past that stuff too, if you wanted to, it's nice to have good looking stuff as placeholder art, you know, instead of just like all square boxes and stuff. So it's even like if you're going to go back and do the art yourself, it's like good to be like, all right, this is vaguely the theme I'm going for. And I'm like, I'll give some dude like 10, 15, 20 bucks to buy a pack and then just have that out there. So though you have like a mood and like your set, and it's like better than just looking at like gray and black or grids you know,
having
programmer stuff.
Like your player character, even if it's just like 1-2 frames of animation, does so much to inspire you for your game, keep you going for your game, and get your point across, right? Yeah. Like let's say you know, Mario, right? Like the quintessential platformer.
He's Mario.
You could block it out, could have the same gameplay, but when you have that little plumber there, like it just adds so much like character, right? Where as a human being you feel it. You know,
it's not an epic mission, dude, to get his girl.
Yeah, so you're right, man. You're right. So any working plans for the game this week outside, like anything specific that you're working on, or just continuing with refining the tooling?
Bro, all right. So now that I'm closing in on like the final chapters of this, I'm like, what if I switch over to Phaser, dude? I started looking at Phaser, like, because I was like, I don't know, like I like.
You're like the key party of game deving, man. If people are just grabbing keys and
I was like, all right, I started Rust, we ported it over to Unity. I built the tooling in Unity. Now I'm like, what if I just went to like Phaser and did the rest in like Java real quick to just get it done?
Don't do it, dude. Don't do it.
I think I might, dude.
Finish it, dude. I'm curious. That's where I'm at with curious if other people who kind of dabble in different languages do what you're doing. Of just going, I'll use it in this. Just keep switching. It seems like such a Herculean task to me.
Yeah, I think that's part of the fun for me though as well. Is like, because then it's like, oh, I'm learning this new system, and to me that's always been like the funner part too. Is like learning new things and keeping my mind sharp, and then like seeing how things translate from different languages as well. Where it's like, all right, I'm pretty solid in C#. Rust, I can be a script kiddie and copy and paste stuff. JavaScript I feel pretty comfortable with, and it's so like such a loosey goosey language. We can just get away with murder. And like I don't know, like I know like we've always said like on this pod, like if you're starting out, like maybe do like construct or like gdevelop or scratch or something, like something visual, something easy you can like start to understand programming. I don't know, my chances is just like JavaScript or like Lua, maybe like just like this loosey goosey ass like Python. There's like a lot of coding languages where like it'll just run shit and it'll break. But like you can get your thing up and running and working like pretty quickly. And there's like such a depth of examples to pull from as well. Like you can be like, oh, I'm trying to do exactly this. And somebody's like on GitHub or somebody's like, I made exactly that, or a tutorial exactly for that thing. So I don't know. It's a siren call,
Lua, dude. Roblox uses that as their language. And my kids, I don't let them play Roblox. But knowing
it's child exploitation, dude.
Eventually they will, right? Like it's like driving a car, right? It's like that thing that'll happen at some point in their lives.
I don't know, you can get them into Minecraft, dude. Instead,
they're into Minecraft already, man.
There you go, man. I don't know,
but they talk to their friends and stuff, and they're all playing Roblox. But I'm still not going to allow it. But I was looking at it, and I'm like, well, if I could do something for them with that, and have their friends like go into like a world that I created and catered towards my kids that I know is appropriate, right? I'm like, that's not really that bad, right? But that's like a back burner thought. But you mentioning Lua just made me remember.
I think they got like Love 2D as well. I think that's Lua. There's a few good Lua engines and stuff out there, man. There's a lot of stuff out there.
Yeah,
I don't know. That's the problem though. Maybe I gotta just like simmer down and lock in and finish this thing. It's not even a big game. It's 6 stages. I got the story written out. I got the character art. I paid for the pixel art. I have the songs. I really just gotta put it all together in the pot, dude, and like cook. But instead, I'm like looking at like other like pots and pans and be like, oh, maybe I could just like whip up like a quick some pancakes or something with this instead of a cake.
Right, for sure.
Pancakes are good. Like,
pancakes
it's
are
all
good.
just batter, dog.
Oh, that's awesome. But yeah, man, that's awesome. Wish you luck in the week for that.
We'll see where we get, man.
Yeah, man. For myself, I'm just cracking away at the prototype, man. Update when I get there, and
it's just slow and steady, man. I was also talking with the Sanchizo. He's getting pretty far. I don't know. He was also like trying to like reinvent the wheel with some things, and I was like, just consider like using shaders, and shaders are like their own fucking diabolical. What's the cube? The evil cube? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, from Hellraiser.
Yeah, the Hellraiser cube, dude. Yeah. It's like shaders are like the Hellraiser cube, where it's like you have to use it to like make your shit look good, but like it's like its own dark arts into itself.
Yeah,
and like it doesn't really play well with anything. I know like somebody else made like a high level shader language that can like port down to any other language, and I think like the big holdup is Apple with like their Metal. I think that's like causing all the problems.
I'm unfamiliar with the Apple Metal.
They have like their own like graphics backend shader that only works on their devices, so everybody has to like cater to their bullshit. So like it's like you can like it'll look good on like web or Windows or Linux, and then like you try and get your shit to Apple, and it's like nah, dog. So then like everyone who's like making shader libraries, like they have to worry about Apple and Apple stuff because like iOS is a pretty big market, So,
yep, for sure.
And so they're like, oh yeah, well we'll have problems with this, or it'll work kind of, but then if you try and use it over here, it's going to break really badly.
Gotcha. So you need it completely agnostic, but that's not the case. because
somebody made like a high level one that'll port down to like all the other standards for stuff, and that's like a newer one. I forgot what it's called, but you just type it in, you'll find it on the Googles.
For sure.
But I don't know. I hate shaders, so I led him to that. I was like, hey man, Sancheezy just use the shader for like some of the stuff he was trying to do. And I don't know, it looked like he was having fun. He like showed me some stuff he was getting done. I was like, damn, it's incredibly impressive.
He shared with me what he had in his chef's kiss, dude. I loved it. I thought it looked fantastic. So, shout out to Solace there. But yeah, man, I think that's for everyone watching, listening. I've spoken to quite a few people who have projects they're working on right now.
Dang.
Keep going, whether it is, a mobile project, full video game project, something for school, something that you had an idea with and you're like, I can make an app, right?
Do something.
Nothing's stopping you except you, right? So
man.
if you're listening to us, if you're watching it and you're staring at the wall, you could be staring at a computer screen and finishing your stuff, tweaking a variable.
Listen to the podcast instead. Just binge watch it, dude. I've been journaling as well. That's been helping a lot. Like every night, like I'll like I use like a fine. I know, like I think I put you on Obsidian. But I was like, yeah, man, I'd like to like just write down what I was doing or things I'd like to add or like other game ideas I have. So that way, like it kind of like deloads that from like the front of the brain as well. And so instead of chasing like new games, I'm just chasing new engines now instead. I think like so I'm like, I got this great game idea. So yeah, man,
that's dope.
Yeah, so I don't know, journal, write down what you're doing. Like again, like those are always our tips. Or like. Use comments, use a good naming convention, like write down what the function is that it's doing. So, when you go back to it, because like, it takes a lot of time. All stuff takes time. And at some point you're going to like maybe want to pay somebody to do something for you. And if you hand it off and it's all in like your own, like Jabberwocky, dude, like they're not going to know what to do with it, dude.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
So it's like, just treat it. And like that future person's probably you. But sometimes it's somebody you're paying money to like, go in and like port your game or fix some things or add something to your engine, or you take on a new teammate who wants to help out. And they have different skill sets and they want to be able to like look at stuff and know what's going on. And then like journaling's also helped me where I can just look back and I can again like just deload like some of that like anxiety or angst or like new shiny object syndrome to that and just be like, oh yeah, I'll do that later. But yeah, man, I don't know. This is the same old stuff. It's just a grind, dude.
Yep.
Get after it.
It's a grind. We're all a part of it, man.
It's a marathon, dude.
For sure. For sure. Yeah, don't let those YouTubers making a game in 24 hours,
yeah, dude.
cloud the fact.
I always think the same thing is like, time. I wish you had spent more time. Like I made this in 24 hours. So like, yeah, man, you should probably just spend like a few weeks on it instead. I wish you had just spent like, I know you're getting like videos out and like you're doing it for the content.
But you'd like to see
some of the stuff's good. Like, I don't know, like, but then like I watched one like that, and like one of the top comments was like, "Oh man, how long you been doing game development?" Because they made like a Balatro clone in 30 days, and like in the comments like, "Yeah, I've been doing this for like 10 years." So it's like, he makes it look so easy, and he did it in 30 days, and it only took him 10 years
work,
to.
It's that all.
Even for like art and stuff,
For sure.
It's like, oh man, draw me this picture, or like design work and stuff as well. There's always that famous of like, they spent 10 minutes doing the thing, drawing it out on a napkin, and they're like, well, it only took you 10 minutes. How come I have to pay you hundreds of dollars? It's like, because it took me like 15 years to be able to do it in 10 minutes. It's a skill set you got to build up.
Yes, sir. And I'll end it on that note, man. That's a perfect quote there. So for the Combo Wombo podcast, I'm Mr. Gimpy. That's
Chipmunk.
Like, share, subscribe. We'll see you guys next week. Keep creating. Later.
We out. Peace.